What is up, party people? This is from a live demo with Helium 10. So Helium 10 comes into our FBA University Accelerator program once a month. They live demo any new features in their product research software and how to really use their tool most effectively. They are the best product research tool and service in the game. I've used a bunch. I love Helium 10. They come in and answer questions. It's very fun, very interactive for the people inside. This one is all about how to launch a product effectively and how to use their tools to spot the right keywords, spot the right markets, spot the right competitors, really know everything. So your launch goes exactly how you want it to with a lot of sales. Enjoy this. If you are interested in joining our Accelerator community, there is a link in the show notes. Book a call. We're taking on students month by month. So if you are interested, book a call. Until then, enjoy this demo with Helium 10. All right, FBAU. We have our guy from Helium 10, Lem Turner, the GOAT.
The main one.
Yeah, back on. We've gone through product research with Lem 2 or 3 times, and I'm sure we will again. But he's gonna basically just present about what Helium 10 has come out with in the last couple months. Helium 10 innovates quicker than like any software company I've seen, so it's really impressive. It's cool to have their company continue to evolve as Amazon FBA evolves. So Lem, yeah, take it from there, my man.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks for having me back. Always fun to be back on this and share the wealth of Helium 10 with the people. So it's always fun. We'll be going a little bit. So if you've seen some of the demos I've done before, it'll be a little bit more of a quicker pace. But it's just because we're jumping around from like tool to tool because there's just been so many updates, like Mike said, that it's even hard for me to keep track of what have we shared with people, what haven't we shared with people, and I'll try to cover some stuff that even we haven't even made like pro training videos yet for from this most recent bigger better launch. So I'll try to cover some of those things as well. But I'll go ahead and get my screen shared. And I think every once in a while, like when I'm doing like demos, like my screen will be working, but me physically, like in like the my face will freeze, and so if that happens, just we'll just move past it.
Yeah.
But
Sounds good.
okay, you can see my screen. Okay, here, see my
Yep.
screen, bro.
All good.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going to use one of these example keywords, but I think this is really great for beginners. One of the biggest complaints that Helium 10, or not complaints, but obstacles that users face with Helium 10 is, oh my God, there's just so many filters. Like, I don't know where to start. So we're just going to do a random product here. This is just one of the random ASINs that we'll plug in here. It is you look closely here, it's like a wooden salad bowl, right? That's what it looks like. This is the sample product we're using here. But a lot of people get stuck of, all these filters. I'm not understanding where to go. So we have come up with some new like go-to filters that everybody can use and can really get you started of, oh, okay, this is the kind of mindset I need to be having when I'm looking at keywords or doing product research, which is called top keywords and opportunity keywords. And you don't see them right now. And that's also another thing. People don't realize that, oh, like you said, you have these filters, but I don't see them, is because you need to find competitors first because you want to see it from a large subset of data. So we're going to go ahead, click on this Get Competitors button right here in the upper right. And we can pick up to 20. We used to only do 10, but now we do up to 20, which was like subtly rolled out. So that's pretty cool that we have that now. But we're just going to pick some competitors that look like they're the same. So we're going to pick maybe these 7. Yeah, we'll stick with these 7. So we have 8. We'll add in those competitors. We'll click on Get Keywords. Let that run. We'll do a new search. We'll get that data going. But this has been really fun because it's just the process of when I've done product research demos before, I'm going through, hey, you should have like this search volume, you should have this organic rank, maybe consider this title density. Like it's a process, right? Whereas now we have these new filters of top keywords and opportunity keywords. So right now we have around 6,500 keywords, which is quite a lot. But what if I want to see only the top keywords that are driving sales for these competitors? So I have 6,500 keywords right here. All I have to do is click on top keywords. It's going to go ahead and load that up. And immediately, I have 22 keywords. These are the top keywords. I didn't have to go through a whole thought process. Obviously, it's good for you to know how these are the top keywords. But let's say you're in a rush and you're just doing some like really quick ad hoc product research of, maybe this is opportunity, maybe not. Let's just see top keywords. And you don't want to spend like 30 minutes putting together all like filters and, manipulating data. Boom, you can do it in like 3 minutes, and the top 22 keywords. You can then at this point decipher, okay, does this make sense? Does this look like it's a good idea to look at these metrics, et cetera, et cetera. And what it can also do is help you realize how filters work together, and this is available to all platinum users, which I really love, that this is not like gated at like higher tier accounts, but you can see how search volume works together with competitor rank average and with the ranking competitor count. So we have 8 ASINs here, so you want a majority, so we're doing 5. And you want to see they're around page 1 or like bottom of page 1 or even maybe top of page 2, what they rank for in terms of keywords. So that's one big thing that I really like, is that being able to find top keywords and just look at a button. And then on the flip side is opportunity keywords. And if you're just launching a product on Amazon, let's say you're looking to launch a product similar to this is where I'm looking at top keywords. But if I'm also going to be investing some good amount of PPC, and I want to make sure that I establish my foothold, to be here to stay for a long time and establish myself in the market, I'm going to look at opportunity keywords. Because what opportunity keywords is going to do is look at the keywords where only like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of these 8 ASINs are doing really well for it, but the rest aren't. Which gives you an idea of, okay, like maybe one of them are doing well, like, but it's driving sales for them, but not the rest of them. That's a keyword I might want to look at and consider putting into my listing or do PPC on. So we click on opportunity keywords, and this is still pulling from that list of like 6,500 keywords that we saw initially, right? And it breaks it down to 18 keywords, 18 opportunities there. And I think the biggest thing that we want to look at here is we look at the specific rank that we're looking at here of like what are the filters that's pushing here. It has advanced rank filter 1 and advanced rank filter 2. So what does that really mean? This is a bit of a unique thing, and where people get tripped up here is the very first advanced rank filter. What this is saying is these are the number of ASINs, from a minimum to a maximum, that I want to rank, to have the organic rank of at least 1 to 15. That's essentially kind of what you're saying there. And so out of this list of 8 ASINs with these advanced rank filters, you're saying, I only want to see keywords where only 1 to 2 ASINs out of this list of 8 rank on the top half of page 1. And the reason why that indicates really good opportunities is because you don't get to the top of page 1 without getting sales for that specific keyword. But as we saw with all these products, they're very similar. Like we see this one is a salad bowl, wooden salad bowl. Wooden salad bowl has utensils. That's just a wooden salad bowl. So like they're just very extremely similar, that it's an easy assumption to make that if these are the keywords that are driving sales for maybe only 1 or 2 of them, it's probably a good idea that it would drive sales for the rest of them if they knew about these keywords, if they knew that these keywords were good keywords to use. And what I like about this is opportunity keywords. I don't know if you noticed when we did the top keywords, but a lot of them just said salad bowls or like were salad related, whereas these are more so related on the material of like wood bowl or maybe wooden bowls for decor, wood fruit bowls. We do have some like salad bowls, but they're not as heavy. Retro fruit bowl, that's a pretty unique keyword. It has 500 searches a month. That's a weird thing. I don't even know what a retro fruit bowl looks, but there's some of these keywords that for whatever reason, fruit and wood is a big combination there that we're not seeing. Even if we go back to our top keywords here, we're not seeing in this assortment of top keywords. We're really just seeing salad, 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 right? So it's one note. And so, of course, salad keywords are going to drive majority of the sales. But if you want to, carve out some market share, especially early on, maybe pursuing some fruit-related keywords with the salad bowl is a really great opportunity. And I love that I didn't have to think about it too hard with my filters and do anything fancy. All I had to do was click on these buttons, and instantly I got the top keywords that I should consider, and opportunity keywords that's going to help me carve out that market share early on. So that's one of the new features with Cerebro that I think are probably, if there's anything that we're taking away from here, this is probably like one of the biggest takeaways that we'll be covering today, which is why I really wanted to go after it first, because I thought that this was really cool. Any questions about that so far before I move on to our next thing? Cool. Our next stuff is we had a bunch of updates to the Chrome extension. And so we'll go to our Managed Mysterious Oddities listing here. And of course, we have like our Chrome extension that's like pretty standard. You see it across here. But one newer things that is with our Chrome extension is that you have this kind of like this feature here that you might notice. And then it'll show you like 30-day sales. It'll show you the listing health score, the FBA fees, if it's in how many variations are in the count. But what I like about this is that you kind of like dive deeper really quickly if you just click on view more. And what it's going to do is it has the opportunity to show you where that ASIN, where it's being sold in other marketplaces. And so this is Helium 10, like Project X actual ASIN. And I'll tell you right now, we only sell like in like 4 of these marketplaces. And yet it's in all these other marketplaces. And so this is a really great way to get an idea if people are reselling your product in other marketplaces, which you may think like, oh, maybe it's giving me more exposure for my brand. But this can be an issue if they are doing things wrong on their end. It looks bad for your brand, and Amazon's not looking at it of, oh, Nike's doing bad in Germany or Nike's doing bad in Britain or whatever. Like they're more concerned about how is that brand doing overall. And I've dealt personally with brand issues with clients in the past of somebody was reselling their stuff in India, and then there was a huge issue with India, which then affected the main listing in the United States, which was such a headache to go through. But this can be a really good indication for you to get an idea of, is my product being sold in other marketplaces? That's kind of a really nice thing to be able to see. And then if you're doing like competitor research, you kind of dive deeper into the listing health score, which we've always had before, just in a different place. But you can also see top keywords here. And what I like about it is that, so this is coffin shelf. We searched coffin shelf, we found this product. And this will also show what this product is doing really well for other keywords. So you don't have to like go directly into Cerebro. It's kind of pulling Cerebro for you into the Chrome extension, which I really like. And so we can see that for this specific product, it's doing really well for coffin tray, coffin bookshelf, and oddities. Those keywords it's doing really well for. But it doesn't just stop there. We go back and we go just in the Amazon search results. We see all these results for coffin shelf products, but what if I want to know right away, what are the top keywords that these products are doing really well for on Amazon? But I don't want to have to, copy and paste each ASIN into my Cerebro. I don't want to have to, click them all and then go into a different page. I just want to do it right here and there. Well, I can do that also with Keywords X-Ray, which is really helpful. I just click on it. It's going to pull that information. It's going to do the filters for me that I would usually have to do myself in order to determine what the top keywords are for these products. So it's going to load that up. And now right away, I see 49 keywords that these products on page 1 are also doing really well for on Amazon. And this is a really great way to kind of like do quick product validation of, all right, maybe you see, because there are a decent amount of products where it is doing really well for one keyword, and one keyword is driving the heavy majority of their sales and has heavy search volume. But if it doesn't have any other keywords where it has decent search volume and it only has that one main keyword, that's kind of tough to put all your eggs in one basket. You want some diversity from a keyword perspective. So seeing this gives me relief, because now I see, all right, other top keywords like Gothic decor at 28,000, Halloween bathroom decor at 26,000, spooky gifts 9,000. Like those are driving sales and have good search volume. Now, of course, it might be, some of these keywords might be a little seasonal with Halloween in the States coming up, so there's definitely that to take into account. But that's why we have the search volume trend, and you can kind of dive deeper into like looking into the graph, like spooky gifts of see, is it spiking? Yes, it is. Over the past year, is it pretty standard to be spiking around this time of year or all time? You can kind of get the same type of metrics that you would in Cerebro, but you're getting it in the Chrome extension, it just makes it that much easier and quicker to action on the data that you have in front of you, which, that's always really nice to see. But let's say, we're just on Amazon itself and we're just, browsing around. Sometimes when you have like a thought in mind, but you don't know what the main keyword is for. And so usually in the past, if let's say I wanted to look at rubber ducks, like that's a niche I was interested in. I always use that as an example, but I don't know what the top keyword is. But I want to find the top keyword. So usually what I would do, I would go magnet, just type in how to describe a product, which would be rubber ducks. And then I try to find the top keyword for that. And then I would search in Amazon to see what the products are on that first page on Amazon for that top keyword for that niche. But now I can just do it in here where I enter in rubber ducks, and it's almost going to do like a smart complete here, where it's going to give me some Amazon suggestions based on search volume and give me trends on that. It's going to give me related keywords to rubber ducks. It's going to give me keywords that come after rubber ducks, so like rubber ducks at the beginning of the phrase, but then after it, it's going to give me words or before. So I can kind of get an idea of, all right, if I'm searching up rubber ducks, what is the top keyword that I should be searching for that product? Clearly, I see that it says rubber ducks is around 102,000 in there, but I don't only have to look at title density, right? Or I'm sorry, search volume. Maybe I'm looking at title density and I want to see some keywords that are decent but only have low title density or high title density. So that's what's really nice, that I can kind of filter based on that and then have these selections here and then feel confident that whatever keyword I am searching at the beginning of my product research journey in Amazon, I know it's the keyword that's going to give me the most amount of impactful data when doing my product research, instead of me having to go to Magnet and finding that information for myself. So that's another thing with the Chrome extension update there. So going back to our coffin shelf, let's say I'm on here in the coffin shelf, and this is our management series oddities right here. But I want to see, I see all these other products that are up ahead of me. How do they compare to my product? Of course, I can go into X-ray and, compare with these products and see all right, are these products in terms of sales, their size, how are they doing in comparison? But it's kind of difficult because one, it's in a Chrome extension, so it's kind of smaller. And maybe I want to see it in different visual format with the revenue, the fees, the sales, whatever. But I want to know, how is the listing itself doing in comparison to mine? That's where you can kind of click into some of your top listings here, and then you're going to see a little button here that says Run Listing Analyzer. And this is available for Platinum sellers too. Now, of course, for Platinum tier holders, I think you get 25 uses per month, and then I think if you're Diamond, you get 100 or 150, and then if you're Elite, it's just, I think, unlimited. So we're going to Listing Analyzer. I had it already pulled up just because it takes a while to load, because it is analyzing and running through pretty much everything for each listing. So I have 8 listings, I believe, pulled up here. And what I like to see is that first is going to give me my product. My first product, this is the one that I want to compare to these other coffin shelves. So it's going to give you an overview, how is this extra large coffin shelf that we have doing in terms of price point, the stock, the review count, the age, sales, just so you can get kind of a recap of that. And the category and subcategory BSR. And if you do have it currently active, we haven't been selling this one that much in the past month or so. I think it ran out of stock. But if you did have stock, it would show you your detail page traffic and your conversion rate, which is really nice. And it pulls that directly from profits, and it pulls it from Amazon into profits. So that's real-time data there. But what I really like about it is when we compare across ASINs, it's going to give me an idea of how these products are doing. I can see the age of the listings, number of images, the variation count. I can see all these metrics. But what I like also is I can see what are the number of keywords where this product ranks in the top 10, and in number of keywords where it ranks in the top 10 for search volume, or the search volume of the top 10 keywords that it's showing. So I can kind of get an idea of which of these products have the immediate edge on me when it comes to number of keywords and the quality of those keywords in terms of search volume. So I can see this Nano management series oddities top 10, 24 keywords, 5,000 search volume. That's the very top. But the ones that are killing me are the ones that ranked top 10 for 152, for 95, search volume 96 or 82,000. right away I know those are killing me. And so that gives me an idea of, all right, these are the listings I need to look out for. And while I probably could get this information in Market Tracker, it's just easy instead of me having to develop a whole market, I'm getting these quick snapshots right away. This is also another thing that I really like is it kind of shows you what is the where's the bar set? What's the standard for this niche in terms of quality of the listing of like its potential for marketing. And so this is what I really like is that it's giving you a breakdown of how many of these listings, how many of their titles don't contain any symbols or emojis, how many of them have over 150 characters, how many of them have more than five bullet points. It gives you an idea of where are the areas you may have potential. And there have been some niches where a lot of them are doing really well, but I realized that um, all of them don't have more than 150 characters in each bullet point, which shows me, and especially in this one, only three of them have that. Shows me that from an SEO standpoint, at least in the bullet points, I know that I have potential to do better than them. So it's kind of like almost like little checkpoints of opportunity that you can deduce, as well as with the number of images. Is it like TOS compliant? So it kind of shows you also the education and the skill of who you may potentially be competing with. Let's say the average was like a 4.2, then you know that your competitors, they're probably a lot less educated than you are on selling on Amazon. However, on the flip side, let's say it's like an average of 9.3, then you know that in this niche, everybody's got their stuff together. They know what they're doing. They know how to maximize keywords. They know how to do this. So it's almost like an insight of not into your competition in terms of ASINs, but an insight into your competition in terms of sellers of how good are they at selling their product and making sure they're maximizing their potential for their listings. So I really like that aspect too. And then another feature, I don't know if I've ever covered this before, and I wish this button was larger and more like apparent and that we talked about this more. But I think that the media comparison button is like a genius button, only because, of course, when you're launching a product, you want to get an idea of what are the common themes that your competitors are doing in their imagery. Are they saying like a specific graphic? Are they saying certain words? Are they using certain colors? And then you can kind of deduce those themes and commonalities among those and pick what you like and don't like. So if we click on media comparison, what it's going to do is pull the images from every one of those listings there that we have. We see this listing, we see this one, and what we see a lot is, of course, we see a lot like black colors, but trying to get an idea of what are some of the lifestyle images they're using, what are some of the in-setting images that they're using, right? And so I see a lot of common colors. Common color I see is like red, definitely a lot of black naturally because that makes sense. But you can see that this is our listing, and you can kind of almost use this as a comparison of how does mine match up against the competitors in terms of images. And let's say you do all this and you're still like, man, I just can't identify anything. Like I'm struggling to see where I can, make a difference from a creative standpoint. Well, that's easy. That's easy. All you gotta do is export this. It'll put all these images in a PDF, and then you can send it to a graphic design VA or maybe somebody like a agency or whoever you might work with, somebody on Fiverr who can work in these images for you, and then you can look at these images. And since they have a creative mindset, because that's their job and their career, they're going to be able to identify common themes that will do well for you and show you things that do really well and where you can stand out. And keep in mind, these listings that we're looking at, these are the top listings for this coffin shelf. So we know that this type of content, it's already been proven with their own sales. It's just a matter of how do we pick the best of each one and then make our own little friendly Frankenstein of a image and take all these like great elements and put them all in one, because some of these are not all these listings are doing everything right, but they're doing one or two things right. And so the more things we can kind of pull into our to get ideas and put in our listing, the better. And so I think this is an underrated feature of Listing Analyzer, but I think more people should use it. And I personally use it all the time as well when I'm doing product design and when I'm working with my VAs of, hey, I need you to like spruce up these images and make these better, but look at these competitors as examples. So I really love that feature as well. All right. How are we doing on time?
Doing well. I mean, we're 20 in. That feature, I had never seen that before, bro.
I know it's so small. Like man, I wish they made it more apparent. Like even allowed it to have be like a big widget on here, like all these other features. But unless you like purposely are looking for it, you miss it. You just gloss
Yeah.
right over it.
Well, that feature is clutch. I just put together a photo storyboard for my photographer, so that would have saved a lot of time just putting it straight from here to a PDF.
Yeah.
I created like a really like sexy PowerPoint. And I was like, dude, I want this, I want that, I want this.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that would have saved my life, man.
Oh man, I wish we had done this last week. Maybe I could have saved you some time.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, man.
Cool. So the one things that we can cover. Another thing is for product launch, and I'm unsure if maybe this is a strategy you guys talk about it or not. But this is a strategy that I know some people use is that they will launch a product, but they won't like make it active. They'll make it like suppressed or inactive and wait until their inventory is spread out among the states, so that way when they do launch the product or make it active, it's immediate in terms of prime shipping. Because like some areas, like say you get your stuff in California and your products in New York, it might customers in New York, then it might take them 4 days, and that's a waste of PPC click. That's a waste.
That's what we teach. I'm doing that right now. One of my products just came in to the FC center today, and I've literally just made my offer like way in the future. I'm going to wait till all the inventory is like stocked up, and then I'm going to fire it off.
Yeah, exactly. And so what's really nice is what we have now is we have inventory heat map or inventory map, which is in profits. Oh, I was like, why is it not showing? Because I'm in a different marketplace. That's why. All right. And I click on heat maps here on the left. And what's nice about it is that I can get an idea of where my inventory is at on an actual map and kind of just give myself an idea of, all right, where is my inventory doing? So let's look at a product that we're selling and like give ourselves a large time frame here. Let's see from the first. So like we can kind of see, and this is updated daily, where we are at. And so let's say we're looking at this listing, we can see that, all right, we're having some pretty good coverage here. And so you can kind of like wait to see where it's at instead of having to download a report and then looking at all like the fulfillment center IDs. You kind of look at the inventory heat map and get an idea of that as well. But let's say you're also trying to look at an idea of, you can cross-reference this inventory heat map with your sales heat map and say like, hey, my sales heat map in terms of like, let's look at this month, however, where are most of my sales coming from geographically, right? And so this is gonna be really helpful to get an idea of, maybe most of my sales for whatever reason are really heavily West Coast. And that tells me that, I need to make sure that I'm allowing my items to get spread out more to like the Midwest to the East Coast before I make it active. So that way I can get more sales there and I can take advantage of that as well. And then there's this little feature that just came out. And this is a little bit more advanced, but still helpful to know, which is called per capita, which essentially is just a ratio of your sales to the population of that area.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Which
you would have to have a lot of boots on the ground to be making moves every time.
Yeah.
But it's cool. The potential is
So like we're looking at like New Haven, Kentucky, we see that, we sold one unit for $28. But then we look at per capita, it's huge, and it says like 4,000. Now, of course, did we actually sell 4,000? No, we didn't. We didn't actually sell 134 units. But what it's telling us is that the ratio of our sales versus the population of that area, that we pretty much have gotten a good subset of that population. Even though it was only one person out of like maybe like a 500 town or 500 populated town is pretty good versus you can definitely see like in the California area, it's a lot smaller. And so that gives us an idea from geographically, where are the areas that we're doing pretty well in terms of domination versus others where we have a lot more room to grow. And this can also be utilized if you're doing, again, this is why I said it's a little bit more advanced, utilized if you're doing Google ads, because then you can do geographic targeting in specific areas. And then areas where you're close to the ceiling and others where, the sky's the limit, right? And so definitely in this case, you see all like the little circles on the West Coast, but then we look at a total, you see a lot larger ones. The sky's still the limit for the West Coast and East Coast, which you typically are going to see that in more urban areas.
Nice. I like that.
But I believe that's all the features I had today's slide today that I thought were the most helpful for your audience, and all the big
And
highlights.
for us too. I learned a lot today. I didn't know half of that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's very cool to see. It's with a lot of data, you could definitely, I mean, just in terms of day partying and how you could play time zones. That's
Exactly.
I'm sure there's people at a certain level who are already using this, and so it's very cool. Okay, so why don't we open it up? There's not too many people on this, but guys, if you do have questions now, Lem is here. He's part of Helium 10, obviously. So if you do have any questions, feel free to unmic and ask. Other than that, that was awesome, man.
Yeah, I think that might be the best one yet. Then that was really insightful.
Really?
Yeah.
Brian, you're always such a hype man for me. You say at some point you just have to be lying.
We're trying to build your clout.
Yeah. That's why I keep coming back. Just to make me feel good afterwards. I just keep coming back.
No, it is. I mean, that like we're in the tools, but we use like same shit all the time, right? Probably like you kind of get used to your bread and butter, so you come on and make us feel stupid for not using all these other tools.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, from my point of view, just to chip in, I've really found helpful. You know that kind of that smart feature where you start typing in a keyword, you see a bunch of other keywords start populating. That's been really helpful. And then the X-ray keywords, the beta version, that is huge, man. I mean, I mean, if I'm looking at we teach a lot of students product research off the bat, and I mean, not having to go through Cerebro and doing that, like when you're looking at like, say, I look at probably sometimes 100 products in a day, dude, that saved me probably an hour, if not more. It's huge. Really good. Yeah,
it's kind of scary. Like the each feature is making it like you save so much time that it's almost. I feel like we're going to get to a certain point where you go to a product and it's like a yes, no.
That's the goal, right?
I mean, that's
your product is like, yes, I sell it, or no, I won't.
Yeah. That's the end goal. But each feature makes it like, wow, this used to take me 30 minutes. Now it's 10. Now it's 2 seconds. And so it's awesome, man.
It's huge, man. And that's kind of what I've been teaching students. So not so much like, don't get caught up on finding the winning product. Just get really good at eliminating products. Like the quicker you can eliminate products, you're going to find the juice eventually.
Yeah. You can only you have to come across, like if you knew you had to find 40 crappy products to find one good product.
Yeah.
But you had to find those 40 first. Everybody would get those 40 out like right out of the way right away. But like that's kind of the process that you kind of have to go through. And that number, that figure of how many bad products you have to look at is different for everyone. But that number exists. It's not like infinite.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, cool. I don't think we have any questions. So, I mean, that was awesome. We will save this to our community and then, man, have you back as soon as possible. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man. That was great as always, buddy.
Yeah. I think next month I'm